Toyota software update, Prius hidden update, Camry Hybrid secret calibration, Toyota TSB updates. Stay until the very end because I'm going to show you the actual service bulletin number that improved fuel economy by up to 4 mpg on certain Priuses and the reason Toyota dealerships aren't proactively telling customers about it. Here's something wild. You could be driving a Toyota Hybrid right now that's performing worse than it should be. Lower fuel economy than you expected, sluggish acceleration, rough engine transitions, and there's a software update sitting on Toyota's servers that would fix it for free. But unless you specifically ask for it, or unless you happen to bring your car in for service at exactly the right time and get exactly the right service advisor, you'll probably never hear about it. Because Toyota doesn't advertise these updates. They don't send you a letter, they don't call you, they just issue technical service bulletins to dealerships, and then it's up to the dealer whether they bother checking if your car needs it. If you want car content that uncovers the stuff manufacturers don't want to talk about, hit subscribe right now. And if you know someone driving a Toyota Hybrid who's complaining about worse than expected performance or fuel economy, send them this. What I'm about to explain might actually fix their problem. Let me start by explaining what these software updates actually are, because most people think of car software like phone updates. You get a notification, you install it, done. But cars don't work like that, especially not Toyota's. Toyota uses what they call Technical Service Bulletins, or TSBs. These are internal documents sent to dealerships describing known issues and how to fix them. Some TSBs are for mechanical problems, some are for software calibration updates, and some are for issues so subtle that most owners never even notice them, but the update makes the car objectively better. The thing is, TSBs aren't recalls. Toyota isn't legally required to notify you. They're not required to fix it for free unless it's under warranty. They just make the information available to dealers and hope you happen to bring your car in for something else. And here's where it gets frustrating. A lot of service advisors don't bother checking for TSBs unless the customer is complaining about a specific problem. You bring your car in for an oil change, they do the oil change, and they send you on your way. They're not sitting there cross-referencing your VIN against every TSB Toyota has issued in the last 3 years. That takes time, and time is money. So you end up with this situation where there's a known fix for a known problem affecting your exact car, and nobody tells you about it. Let me give you some real examples of updates that actually matter. TSB 0151-20, issued in 2020 for certain 2016 to 2020 Prius models. The issue? Rough engine starts and poor fuel economy due to hybrid system calibration. The fix? A software update to the hybrid vehicle control ECU that smooths out engine starts and optimizes battery usage. Owners reported improvements of 2 to 4 mpg after the update, and the car felt noticeably smoother during transitions between electric and gas mode. Did Toyota send letters to every affected owner? Nope. They sent the bulletin to dealers and said, if a customer complains about this, here's the fix. How many Prius owners are still driving around right now with worse fuel economy than they should have, completely unaware this update exists? TSB 0087-19, issued for 2018 to 2019 Camry Hybrids. The problem? Hesitation during acceleration and occasional shuddering at low speeds. The cause? The hybrid system was being too conservative with electric motor assist, and the engine wasn't kicking in smoothly when needed. The update recalibrated the power delivery logic. After the update, owners said the car felt like it had gained 20 horsepower. It didn't, obviously, but the power came on more smoothly and predictably. Again, no mass notification, just a bulletin sitting in the dealer system waiting for someone to check. Here's another one. TSB 0293-21 for certain RAV4 hybrids. The issue was related to the all-wheel drive system not engaging as quickly as it should in slippery conditions. The software update improved the response time of the rear motor. This is a safety issue, and Toyota still didn't proactively notify owners. They just made the fix available if you happened to ask about it. I talked to a guy who works at a Toyota dealership as a technician. He told me they get multiple TSBs every single week. Some are important, some are minor. But unless a customer comes in with a specific complaint that matches a TSB, most of them never get applied. He said he's seen cars come in with 10 or 15 applicable TSBs that never got done because nobody checked. And here's the thing that really gets me. Some of these updates are free even if you're out of warranty because they're considered goodwill fixes or calibration improvements. But if you don't know to ask and the dealer doesn't volunteer the information, you miss out. Now, let me tell you how to actually get these updates done. First, you need to find out if your car has any open TSBs. You can do this a few ways. The easiest is to call your local Toyota dealer, give them your VIN number, and ask them to check for any applicable technical service bulletins. Not all service advisors will be helpful with this, but some will. If they blow you off, try a different dealer. You can also search online. There are forums and websites where people compile TSB information. Some sites require a subscription, but there are free resources too. Search for your specific model and year plus TSB, and you'll find lists of known bulletins. Once you know which TSBs apply to your car, you can call the dealer and specifically ask them by number. Hey, I have a 2018 Prius, VIN number such and such, and I'd like TSB 0151-20 applied. That's a lot harder for them to ignore than a vague, my car doesn't feel right.
Some updates are covered under warranty. Some are covered under extended warranties or goodwill campaigns that Toyota doesn't advertise. Some you might have to pay for if you're way out of warranty. But even if you have to pay, a software update is usually $100 to $200, which is way cheaper than living with a poorly performing car or trying to diagnose phantom problems. Here's a story that shows why this matters. A friend of mine bought a used 2017 Camry Hybrid with 65,000 miles. Great car, good price, clean history. But from day one, it felt sluggish. Not broken, just not as responsive as he expected. He figured maybe that's just how Camry Hybrids drove. He'd never owned one before. A year later, he brought it in for routine service at a Toyota dealer. The service advisor, who actually gave a damn, checked the VIN for open TSBs, found 3. One was for a hybrid system calibration update, one was for the transmission shift logic, one was for the infotainment system. They applied all 3 updates. Total cost? 0. Covered under goodwill, even though the car was out of the original warranty. When he picked up the car, the difference was night and day. The throttle response was better, the transitions between electric and gas were smoother, the transmission shifted more intelligently. It felt like a completely different car, and he'd been driving it for a year thinking that was just normal. How many people are in that exact situation right now and don't even know it? Here's another angle on this. When you're shopping for a used Toyota Hybrid, one of the smartest things you can do is check if the car has had all its TSBs applied. A lot of used car buyers check for accidents and service history, but almost nobody checks for software updates. If you're looking at a used Prius or Camry Hybrid, get the VIN, call a dealer before you buy it, and ask them to run a TSB check. If the car has 6 open TSBs that were never done, that's information. You can either use it to negotiate the price down, or you can factor in the cost and time of getting them done after you buy it. I know someone who found a great deal on a 2016 Prius. Price was lower than similar cars in the area. Seemed too good to be true. He checked the VIN, turned out it had multiple open TSBs, including one related to hybrid battery performance. The previous owner probably experienced issues, never got them fixed, and traded the car in frustration. He bought it anyway, took it straight to Toyota, got the updates done, and now it runs perfectly. Saved himself $2,000 compared to other Priuses because he knew what to look for. Now, let me talk about the updates Toyota really doesn't want to advertise, because these are the ones that basically admit the car wasn't calibrated properly from the factory. There was a TSB for certain 2020 Highlander hybrids related to fuel economy being significantly lower than EPA estimates. The fix was a software update to the hybrid control system. After the update, owners reported getting 3 to 5 MPG better, which is exactly what they should have been getting from day one. Think about that. Toyota sold these cars with fuel economy numbers on the sticker, and the cars couldn't actually achieve those numbers without a software update that Toyota didn't tell anyone about. That's not a great look, which is probably why they didn't advertise it. There was also a TSB for transmission shudder on certain Camrys with the 8-speed automatic. The update changed the shift points and torque converter lockup logic, fixed the problem completely. But again, no mass recall, no notification campaign, just a bulletin for dealers. Here's what you should do if you own any Toyota, hybrid or not. At least once a year, call your dealer or check online for open TSBs on your VIN. Write down the TSB numbers, then call the dealer and ask about getting them done. If they say it'll cost money, ask if there's any goodwill coverage or if any of them are warranty related. If you're taking your car in for service, before you drop it off, ask the service advisor to check for TSBs and apply any that are relevant. Put it in writing on the service order if you have to. That way they can't say you never asked. Join forums or online groups for your specific model. Other owners will post when new TSBs come out. This is especially helpful for hybrids because the hybrid-specific updates can make a real difference in how the car performs. And if your car is experiencing any issue, even a minor one, Google it along with TSB and your model year. Chances are someone else had the same problem and there's already a bulletin for it. Here's the update I promised you at the beginning. TSB 0151-20 for 2016 to 2020 Priuses, Hybrid System Calibration Update. Improves fuel economy, smooths engine starts, better battery management. Free under warranty, sometimes covered under goodwill even if you're out of warranty. If you own one of these cars and you've never had this done, call your dealer tomorrow. The reason they don't advertise it is because it basically admits the car wasn't optimized when it left the factory, and because actually notifying every owner means dealerships getting flooded with service appointments, which costs Toyota money and labor and time. It's easier to just quietly fix the cars that come in for service and hope the rest of the owners never notice. Look, I get it. Toyota builds great cars, but they're not perfect, and sometimes they release vehicles with software that needs refinement. That's fine. What's not fine is keeping those fixes secret and making customers hunt for them. If you want content that actually helps you get the most out of your car instead of just selling you the next one, subscribe. Share this with any Toyota owner you know because I promise their dealer hasn't told them about this. Every car has a story, and sometimes the best chapter is the update nobody mentioned.